So I'm going to talk about why I chose. Obviously, you see the shirt and the title. Why I chose Swift and the other companies I had on the table. Um, I went to TDI Trucking School in Sanford, Florida. Uh, took 3 weeks, got my CDL. um, what I want to say first before I get into that is, I didn't have much on my driving record. I don't have a bad criminal record, a few little blemishes, but nothing serious. So I really wasn't limited on companies I can choose. So if you're one of those that fit in that category where you're limited because of your driving record or your criminal record, or if you can't pass a drug test or a hair follicle, then uh, your advice will be a little different. And the selection of companies that you can go with will be different. This is from a perspective of a person that doesn't have any limitations. Besides, I took a I took my test in an automatic instead of a manual. Even though I did all my maneuvers and everything else in a stick, they put a restriction on me. I mean, I guess it don't really matter because everything converting over to automatic. But I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known. I would have just took my test in a stick. But anyway, so before tell you why I chose Swift, I'm gonna tell you the other companies I had on the table. First, Trans Am. I'm gonna just go with Trans Am because everybody knows about Trans Am and who's trying to get into trucking. They're basically a second chance company, and they take people that have bad driving records or criminal record. They deal with people. They work with you. Now I'm pretty sure it can be terrible, but they work with you. I actually like Trans Am, the routes they had, the dedicated routes, but the problem is they start to pay really low. I guess because they're a second chance company. So I expressed to them that I'm not one of those guys that need a second chance. And, I have a good driving record, everything like that. So they told me that they can get me a dedicated route. Where most companies start new people where I live at between 52 and 58 cents per mile, fresh out of school, they were offering like 32 cents a mile. So they told me they can get me straight into a dedicated route for like 58 cents a mile. I was like, okay, we can do that, and we started going through the process, and then I kept checking and checking and checking. Next thing you know, they just like, hey, can you just start do 30 days, and once you do 30 days accident free, then we can put you on a waiting list. And I just was like, why would I do that if I can go with a company that's gonna start me off? So that was the only problem with Trans Am and why I didn't choose them. Next was I'm gonna go with Werner. Werner was actually a good company. I seen a lot of their trucks in my area. Uh, the only problem with Warner, they were only offering team driving, and they were talking to me like all they had was team driving, like they didn't even do other stuff. But I kind of didn't appreciate that because I knew it was a person. It was a person right down the street from me that was a solo driver. So just be honest with me and just tell me that yeah, we have all type of drivers, but we only want to recruit team driving right now. I respect that more than just telling me that's all you do is team driving. I guess they just didn't even want me to have to even think about trying to do solo driving. Um, so that was why I didn't choose Werner. Covenant, very good company, but the same situation. They were only offering team driving, um, and I didn't come in with a partner, so I didn't want to be stuck with a random person. Only because I got a particular situation, and when I need to go home, I don't want to have to be battling about going home. So I didn't want to be with a random person. Now, if I had a partner, I probably would have thought about it. So Covenant and Warner team driving is what really scared me away. But everything else was good about them. They were good companies. Um, Now and also that could change. Like a lot of companies change where they might be recruiting team driving, and this thing they might be recruiting you know whatever. So it's different things. Um, what other company? Uh, PTI, is a paper route company. They were good. I love the routes that they had. They had good home time. The pay was a little low. And how I see it is if I'm gonna be away from my family, it just gotta be worth it. I can't get the pay of something that I can just be home doing. I know it's all about getting experience, but I had offers from companies that would pay me, a little better. So that was the only problem with PTI. Um, my number one choice besides Swift was a company called Melton. They were a flatbed company. They paid you extra for tarping. I really, they had great customer service. They called me every day. They were real good to me, man. It was unfortunate that I made a different choice, but Melton was a real good company. The only problem that I ran into during that process, choosing them, was really right up until the end when I asked them about home time, and they told me that it would take 2 weeks to route me home. And then I started to look more into it. And hold on, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. When I looked more into it, I realized that Melton is not a company for people that's really trying to focus on home time. Like they really want you out. Oh man, hold on. Whew. Um, yeah, they want their people on the road, and home time is like an optional thing. Like from what it seemed like, you know what I'm saying? Like uh, it seemed like they just want people to be on that road, and they didn't have any really terminals near my area in Florida, so it was just gonna be difficult getting me home. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to last minute just say I can't choose this company. Finally, what made me go to Swift and how my experience has been so far, uh, I like the benefits they had. They're a bigger company. They were able to offer good benefits. Uh, hold on just one second. All right, sorry about that. Um, yeah, great benefits, man. They're one of the bigger companies, so I can imagine they can do things like that. Offer great benefits. Now, I know you people who trying to get into trucking, they heard a lot of bad things about Swift, and I want you to realize something. And it's not even in defense of Swift; it's just common sense when you think about it. When you see all these videos of Swift, common sense will tell you that those are driver errors. It has nothing to do with the company. You're a big company, you're most likely to get, some bad weeds. And when you're a bigger company, you're more likely to have a lot more eyes on you. I want you to realize that that has nothing to do with Swift being a bad company. It just there's driver errors. Um, they do the same amount of training that everybody else does. Um, they're just a bigger company with more eyes on them. Uh, Now, when you start hearing things about Swift, like, oh, they don't pay, like how other companies do that start off with new drivers, or they mess up home time, or their equipment is broken and all of that. From what I've seen, they had nothing later than a 2018. They even had 2024's trucks. Um, had a great maintenance shop and all of that. So far. Now, I will say this: coming in to Swift has been rough for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, right now, I'm sitting at the hotel waiting for a trainer. So it's been really rough. Now, my experience hasn't been everybody's experience. I've seen people who came into class with me, they had a smooth experience. Mine just wasn't smooth. For one, my hotel, somehow something happened where my hotel wasn't booked the day before I was supposed to come. When I got there, I wasn't on the orientation list, so it set me back with my hiring process. I had to sit and wait like over a week. I came back. I had a trainer. We were out on the road already. Then they called the trainer back and said he had too many safety points, so he had to drop me back off. He could continue his route. He was good, and he was a real good dude too, man. He was so good, man. He was spiritual. He was on everything I was on. He didn't smoke or nothing like that. Upbeat guy, you know what I'm saying? Uh, all of that. He was a real good dude, man. So they brought me back and they gave me they found another trainer, and then he had a family emergency and he took some home time. So now I'm still waiting on the trainer. So I've been in the hotel basically for this is Tuesday. I've been basically in the hotel for the last 2 days, just waiting on the trainer. So, but I'm pretty sure once I get rolling, everything will be good. Also, I've been doing some training videos, and for some reason they keep going back. It'll say I completed it, and then I go back and check it. It'll say it's not completed. So my experience has been a little rough, but that's not everybody's experience. I've seen people's experience in the class I came in go smooth. They were out and about probably days later when it took me like a little minute. So in conclusion, I would say also one thing I'll say about it. I know this don't matter to everybody, and but they had a how do I want to put this? I want to put this in a way where it don't sound offensive, but they were mixed. They had a mixed crowd. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was very important. Having a mixed crowd and having some relatability with the staff and stuff. So but yeah, I would say when it comes to choosing a truck company, the main thing is not really the company; it's what you want out of it when you're choosing it. You want home time? Do you want to be away? Or you want to go top dollar? Do you want to go? You want to have the good routes? Whatever. Different companies gonna do different things for you. Particularly for me, Swift had everything that I wanted with pay, benefits, and routes, and that was my deciding factor. So now I'm just waiting to start.